Okay, gonna need two things this morning, some note-taking materials and a second device. Note-taking materials can be physical or virtual, whichever one works best for you. Second device is for you to go to the website, turnarounddoctor.com, go to the 74 Principles of Real Leadership, and we are in the I section, which is Innovate, and we are on number 7, Develop Your Vision. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take in 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale on your own. I am Dr. Donna Louise Thomas-Rodgers, daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Welcome to your morning mental workout. Today's topic and principle of real leadership is develop your vision. How do we get here? Neurogenesis. Neurogenesis is the creation of new neurons in your amazing brain. They then decided they're going to meet and greet, and they create new neural pathways. That process is referred to as neuroplasticity. You take that, you combine it with the 74 principles of real leadership and the theory of personal accountability, and what you end up with is neuropability. And that's your brain's ability to wire itself to unlimited neural pathways for you to use in order to hold yourself personally accountable day in and day out so that you can have your best day in and day out. Where does all this magic happen? It happens in the frontal lobe. We're going to be using the executive function of your amazing brain, which is commonly referred to as the CEO of the brain. So without further ado, let's use it today. As I mentioned earlier, develop your vision is the principle that we will be discussing today. And for those of you visiting or watching on the replay, if you want to get an overview of the 74 Principles of Real Leadership, just visit the 74 Principles of Real Leadership tab or playlist on YouTube channel. Start at the bottom, scroll your way up, and in hours upon hours, you will catch up to where we are. Something on my phone. Okay, that's going to bother me. OCD. What I've been doing after giving the overview is that I'm going over each individual principle of real leadership to the point where I'm defining every word in it so that you can understand it completely. Good morning, Miguel. Good morning, Gregory. All right, develop your vision. So what is the definition of develop? Develop is grow or cause to grow and become more mature, advanced, or elaborate. Develop. Grow or cause to grow and become more mature, advanced, or elaborate. Your is you yourself personally. That's your. And then number 3 is vision. And vision is the ability to think or plan the future with imagination and wisdom. The ability to think or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. It's amazing. So you get to grow and become more mature, and you get to become more elaborate, and you have the ability to plan your future. That's what develop your vision is all about. So what does it mean to develop your vision? I'm glad you asked that question this morning. It means several things, but let's start with this. To develop your vision means to clearly define and refine your long-term goals, your values, and purpose, whether personally, professionally, or creatively. I'll say that again. To develop your vision means to clearly define and refine your long-term goals, your values, and your purpose, whether personally, professionally, or creatively. It's the process of imagining what you ultimately want to achieve or become by shaping the idea into something specific and actionable. It's the process of imagining what you ultimately want to achieve or become by shaping the idea into something specific and actionable. And before I get into what it typically involves, let's go over what you see behind you. So you see a brain with the central processing unit in it because the brain is the CEO of the entire body. It is the CPU, and I've said that in the past because it determines what the rest of your body is going to do day in and day out. As we can see, I have on a shirt. Unfortunately, YouTube does not have a reverse, so I can't flip it and you can actually see it. But it is PA plus 45 degrees equals best. And what that means is that this is the theory of personal accountability. And it is personal accountability plus 45 degrees equals your best. If you go to my website, theturnarounddoctor.com, and you look up the theory of personal accountability, or you see it there, you will then understand how this theory was developed. I'll give you the short answer. When I was in basic training, we used to have to perform this movement. It's called a half right face, which will put you at a 45-degree angle. Now, a complete right face is going to be like a right angle, and it's going to turn you into a 90-degree angle. But at a half right face, two things can happen. You can either get dropped and get a nice little smoke session, not smoke, but push-ups, and you'll be put in a front leaning rest position and you will have corrective behavior. Or you can go with a 45-degree angle, half right face, and then you can do drill and ceremony. And what happens is, at that 45-degree angle, you see things that you wouldn't see if someone went at a 90-degree angle. So if you think about it, everybody look at me, and now just look at a 45-degree angle. And what you will see is that if you turn all the way this way, your peripheral can't see what you could see at 45 degrees. And if you go back facing me, you can't see the same thing. So when you have personal accountability, which is holding yourself personally accountable on a daily basis, and you have that nice little half right face, you're going to be headed in a different direction, good morning, than anybody else. Everybody else is going to be forward or to the right or to the rear, but you're going to see things differently. And that's how you're going to be able to get to your best. So this is my vision that I have developed, which is why I have my shirt on today, because my belief and my research shows that and supports that the reason why adults can't access their best on a daily basis is a lack of personal accountability, a lack of turning that to that 45-degree angle, and that is why you can't access your best. And through the theory of personal accountability, the 74 principles of real leadership, and neuropability, you will be able to access your best. That nice little CPU inside of your brain, you have complete control over it, and you will be able to have your best life for the rest of your life. So this is my vision. This is apropos. It just so happened that it worked out that I got the t-shirt and everything on time to be able to present this to you today. So when you start thinking about the vision for your life, it can be galaxy-spheric. It literally can be this. And I would like to say that this concept of having it in an equation format, I'm paying homage to Einstein with E equals MC squared. I have been developing the theory and getting it down. It used to be UAPA plus 45 degrees equals B. And now I've gotten into this very succinct equation that allows you to access your neural pathways in order for you to get to best. Okay, so, and it's equal. If you do this, and it's best on both sides. All right, so what questions do you have about develop your vision, my vision, before we get into what it takes to typically create your own vision? What does it mean to develop your vision? Comments, anything? Are y'all there? And good morning, Miku, if I haven't said that. And that's still a little bit too hot. Is this thing on? Kevin is here. Kevin, developing a vision should be the goal of everyone present on today's live. I concur. Yes, sir. I 100,000%. I don't even know if you could do 100,000%. Well, 100,000%, but 1,000% agree with you. And Nola has a task that came in, so she's saying 1 second. And anyone watching the replay, that is correct as well. Let me write that down. Not something else. Okay, Nola, I'm doing better creating my vision. Okay, thank you both. Now, what does it mean to develop your vision? It typically means the following. Number one, clarifying your purpose. So, understanding why you do and what you do and what truly matters. So, clarifying your purpose, understanding what you do and what truly matters. So, I understand what it is that I'm doing and what truly matters. And this has been a lifelong journey for me to get to this point. I was in the military, I had a corporate job, I was being a strategic advisor, and now I understand why all of that was necessary to prepare me for this current level in which I am in my life. Now, number two is imagining the future. Imagining the future. So, envisioning where you want to be in 5, 10, or 20 years. So, I am imagining the future to the point where I'm not, even when I'm not going to be here, what does that look like? And in doing that, it gives you the ability to be forward thinking, which is one of the 74 principles of real leadership as well. Number three, identifying your core values. Identifying your core values. So, knowing what principles will guide your decisions and behavior. And for us, it's the 74 principles of real leadership. Use those 74 principles of real leadership, and you're going to get to be. You're going to get to your best. Guaranteed. You are going to get to your best when you apply them and use them every single day. Number four, setting goals. When you are setting goals, you break down the vision into achievable milestones. Now, I know that there are 6.8 billion unaccountable adults in the world, and I'm not saying on May 30th of 2025, May 31st, all 6.8 billion adults will be holding themselves personally accountable. I understand, excuse me, that we are hardwired for negativity bias. It's already in us thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So between that and all the biases and the isms, it's going to take time for people to prune those neural pathways and then start to develop the 74 principles of real leadership neural pathways. So this is not something that's going to happen by the end of the month. Hopefully, we are 5 years out and not 50 years out. But either way, you all that are still here can carry on the mission. You take the guy down the baton and keep moving forward. But breaking it down. So how do I break it down? I just wake up every day and I go live and I present things to people in person. I present things online. And I know because people have free will that they will get to it in time. I am still saying, here's what it is. When you get here, it's going to be here for you. That's why there are over 11,500 YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. The videos, some videos here are 11 years old. And you may need it because that's where you are. And I made it when that's where I was, but it's still here for you. So break it down into small, actionable goals that are achievable. And then have the milestones. Like I will celebrate, oh, wow, I have 11,000 posts or I have 11,000 videos. And look at this, I'm almost finished reviewing the principles of real leadership. We just have N and K left. Okay. And then 5, aligning those actions. So ensuring your current choices are moving you closer to the vision. Ensure your current choices are moving you closer to the vision. I will again use myself. My channel in August will have been around since 2013. So that gives me 12 years on YouTube. If you watch the videos from 12 years ago, I am not doing, and they didn't, I don't know if they had mukbangs back then, but I'm not doing jackass pranks, literally the show from MTV. It could be jackass, but I'm not doing what's trending. You're not going to go back 11 years ago and say, we don't do that shit no more. That shit, you talk about shows that's been canceled. So I purposely made my channel so that there would be timeless information available for you. Reading is reading. Unless the books have been banned in the country in which you reside, you can still read those books. The information that I present, real leadership, been real leadership, and as long as I've been alive, because I'm the one who created it and established it, developed it, and am now presenting it to the world. So when you're doing that, when you have your vision needs to align with what you're doing. That's why it's so important when you start anything, don't do anything without a strategy and play that movie out, because you don't know what's going to take place in the future. So you can say, okay, that's why I started cursing online, because I curse in person. I'm not about to be like, oh my God, I'm holier than thou. Jesus, take the wheel. And then you hear me in person, I'm like, motherfucker, I wish you would. No, everything. I started doing lenses and short format videos and everything under the sun, videos with no makeup on, stop getting my nails done and everything, so that there isn't this Dr. Donna image that is being presented online. And then you see me offline like, who the hell is that? Man, she took all that makeup off. She looked like her daddy for real, for real. For real. So in presenting that vision, ensure that it aligns with who you are. Now, there are things that I don't do anymore online. I don't do turnaround tweets because they turned into X. There are video playlists that I don't contribute to anymore because they were test videos. But overall, all of that is leading to where we currently are, which is Neuropability. PA plus 45 degrees equals your best. And this is what it's been leading to. When I made my book in 2008 and published it in 2009, I knew, because I have a doctorate in organizational leadership, that leadership was going to be my path. I am here, been leading since I was 14, 15 years old, and will go to my grave being a real leader. And that's just how it is. So your vision needs to ensure that these current choices that you're making are going to move you closer to that vision, because it is in the future. So 2 levels up is a term that we used in the military. When I was Lieutenant Thomas, I was behaving as Captain Thomas. And when I was Captain Thomas, my objective was to be Colonel Thomas. And then I realized company grade officers are the same as field grade officers, and I'm good to go. So I can go and do something else. So what questions do you have about what it involves when you are having your vision? So what does it mean to develop it? Number 1, clarifying your purpose. Number 2, imagining the future. Number 3, identifying core values. Number 4, setting goals. And number 5, aligning actions for your vision. And I even in my PA and my real leader brain for today, ask people if they have visions, and if they have, how dusty is it? When is the last thing? You're like, oh, you need my vision. Hold up. Let me put my glasses on. I got to go in the garage and see what box is in. And you trying to unpack it, even if it's your storage up here in your brain. You're like, hey, long-term memory, what's my vision? Mm-hmm. 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 And we don't have no trolls this morning. I think it's interesting. It might we have scared the trolls away with this equation. They're like, oh shit, it's math. Get off, go away, go away. Got to make more of these shirts. So my question to you was, what questions or comments do you have about what it typically involves in creating a vision for you? And if you're thinking, nice little dots, little brains, little emojis, anything. I don't know. Can one of y'all check just to see if you have access to a brain emoji on your phone? I don't even think they have them. They do when I'm typing it up, but I'm not an emojier. Kevin, all 5 steps requires personal action. It doesn't mention anything about anyone other than you putting in work. That is correct. So just like yesterday when we were talking about figure it out, is you have, yay, there is a brain. So go ahead and type your brain in when y'all thinking. That's awesome. You and Kevin both have iPhones. So, yep. You can type your brain in. That would be cool because it would be like brain, brain. That would be excellent. So cool. Okay. Yes, Kevin, it is all about you. Just like figure it out. You're the one who needs the solution. So what I find as you bring this up, Kevin, is I find that it's interesting that personal accountability is a solo act. It is John Wick. It is Superman. And then personal unaccountability is a group project. It's all the fucking group projects at school that you hated because that one lazy person would be in your group that you knew they wasn't going to do nothing but wait until it was time to do the presentation, and then they was going to be the one that wanted to do the presentation even though they didn't practice and they didn't know what was going on. So unaccountability is a group activity. Personal accountability is a solo performance. You don't need no backup dancers, singers, or nothing. You can do it a cappella by yourself. Just one mic and yourself. And you can get way more done because you do not have those barnacles of people holding you back and dragging on and hanging on to your coattails and, hey, can you help me with my, and they don't even have to, you can have 10 unaccountable people in a group and they don't have 3 skills between the 10 of them. I said that and I meant that. Can't get nothing done. Like, it's 12 of y'all over there. What the hell? How many unaccountable people does it take to screw in a light bulb? All of them. Every last one of them. So they need a lot of support. A lot. It's like they're an infant, like a 3-month-old infant. They just need so much support. And all they do is cry, poo, pee, and eat. Okay. Ooh, that was a flame. Okay. Anyway, that's what it typically involves. So I'm going to make that a highlight. Okay. Why don't people develop a vision? For those of you who are present and are participating this morning, why don't people develop a vision? I will say 5 years ago, we never heard the sirens. With the amount of people that have moved to Las Vegas, we hear them typically multiple times a day. And it doesn't matter where you live, far away from the freeway, guarded, gated, those aircrafts and helicopters, we definitely hear them. And it's not noisy as New York at all, but it's definitely noisier than it was when we moved here almost 15 years ago. So why don't people develop a vision? That's the question on the table for those of you who are here today. And if you're watching on the replay, feel free to leave a comment. I do pay attention to my comments. And sometimes I block you because of your comment. I'm probably up 3,100 and some change now on Instagram blocking folks. All right, fearful that it may not come to fruition. Okay, roger that. And what I'm finding while Nola is preparing her answer is that all of the principles of real leadership that require you to take action, as Kevin, as you mentioned, on your own, all have similar reasons why people don't do it. Fears up there, societal pressure, the biases are there. So it's interesting that we came here, unless you were a multiple birth child, and you're still different because you have different DNA. You came here with a specific life purpose, and you're stuck, Malia, in your stance, and the people around you or the people outside of the community in which you reside ensure that shit don't happen. Excuse me. It is their mission to make sure that doesn't happen. If you think about it, I am just now, in the last 12 years, just now getting to the point where I am teaching the thing that I came here to do. And prior to that, it was literally do anything but that thing. Yeah, why are you trying to do that? Go over here and help them. Did you know you're really good at that? Why don't you go over there and help them? Why don't you go over there and help? And when it was time for people to participate in personal accountability, crickets for the people who already knew me and had already experienced the benefits of me being personally accountable. Nola, are you there? The question was, why don't people develop a vision? Or do you have tasks still coming in? Okay. We're going to move forward. If there's a delay, like you mentioned before, then I will come back to it. Okay, so why don't people? Yes. So yes is your answer. Why don't people develop? Oh, you're saying yes to me about task. Okay. Well, you catch up. We're going to keep going for the spirit of staying on time. Why don't people develop a vision? Number one is lack of self-awareness. Many people haven't taken the time to deeply reflect on what they truly want, value, or are passionate about. So, because of a lack of awareness, you haven't taken the time to deeply reflect on what truly you want, you value, or you're passionate about. In essence, you don't know who you are. So, if you don't know who you are, how are you going to develop a vision for who you're going to be in the future? Right? If you don't know who you are today, you can't say, who am I? I am this. And in the future, I want to be this. If you do not know who you are, you can't plan who you're going to be. That is a quote. Give me 1 second. Okay. No, look, people don't develop a vision because they don't think forward. Yes, ma'am. And thinking forward is one of the principles of real leadership. The next one is, so if you don't know who you are, you can't determine who you're going to be. You don't know what to improve. You don't know what to stop doing, start doing, or continue doing because you don't know who you are. And the unaccountable people have done a great job of telling you who you are. And then you go off and do the things that they said, this is who you are. And internally, your soul and your spirit is like, I don't want to do this though. But I don't feel like, but I don't really want to do this. I have I saw a gentleman, he's 96 years old on TikTok, and he said he was an ophthalmologist or optometrist, one of them, for many years. And then he said he didn't want to do it. And he told his father, I don't want to do this. And his father said, nobody wants to do their job, but that's how you make money. So shut up and go to work. So you can imagine if he's 96, he's of the greatest generation. So his father was older than that. You be quiet, you do your job, you get your money, you go home. And he said, no, and went to go talk to his mother. And of course, mothers love their sons and raise their daughters. So she said, honey, do whatever you want to do. And he is, to this day, an appliance salesperson. 96 years old. He's still out here selling stoves and refrigerators. And that is the 1000% opposite of looking at somebody's lobe eyes and telling them if they have a glaucoma or not. Totally out. And he looks like he's about 76, has his complete mind and everything else. But if he had to listen to his dad, I doubt that he would even have made it to 96. So people will tell you who you are, and then you say, I'm this thing, and now you have to be this thing. And that's part of the reason why you can't plan your future, because you're planning the future of what they told you that you needed to be. Insane. Number 2, fear of failure, as you mentioned, Kevin. So crafting a vision can feel risky. It requires commitment and the possibility of falling short, which can be intimidating. So if your family say we are a family of doctors and you come and say, I want to be a rapper, that is not going to go well no matter what dinner, no matter how much you break it to them. They're like, a rapper? How dare you? Especially if you want to be like, Mama, I know I can do it. I'm telling you, I'm Detroit Red up in this bitch. What? Check. It's not going to go well. And then as soon as it starts looking like failure, now they're going to say, I told you couldn't do that if you don't take your ass to medical school. The other thing that's interesting about the people who stay in the traditional systems of school, work, retire, and die is that they tell you it's taking too long. It's taking too long. It's taking too long. When they don't realize that they're in industries where the person was told that shit ain't gonna work for years and years and years. People talk about the Fords, but Alma was coming for Ford way back in the 1920s, the early 1900s. He was still making his vehicle, and they were still trying to shut him down. And now everybody got an F-150 and a woo and a poo, and they don't even realize that it couldn't, if he didn't keep going, if he let Alma shut him down, they took him to court and everything, there would be no Ford nothing. Therefore, there would be no Dodge anything, because the Dodge brothers worked for Ford and then went off on their own. So these American-made vehicles that people keep talking about wouldn't be here if Ford had said, yeah, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna forget. My family said I can't do this. This is a dumb idea. So it's interesting. People are sitting in industries that were innovative at the time, and now they're well established, and they're telling you that it's taken too long because they just stepped into something that was already here. So fear of failure stops you from saying, hey, there are 6.8 billion adults in the world that's being unaccountable, and I know with critical mass we can make this happen. PA plus 45 degrees equals your best, 100%. Number 3, overwhelm or distractions. Overwhelm or distractions. So your daily responsibilities, stress and digital distractions can crowd out the mental space needed for long-term thinking. So in your daily responsibilities, if you are stressed, digital distractions, scrolling, can crowd out, or video games, can crowd out the mental space needed for long-term thinking. That's what's happening. The one thing I like about Chat GPT and Grok is the same thing that took place when Nola was in homeschool. When you have a traditional learning environment, you got to read the textbooks, everything is here, and it was a moment in time. But when she was homeschooling, the teachers could use real-time information when the 2016, the 2020, 2019, 20 election was going on for government. She had to watch the election, do different reports from it. And so I'm saying that if I had have not used Chat GPT this morning, then this digital distraction may or may not been in the research that I discovered. So yes, AI had, just like money, it can be used for good or evil. It really just depends on if the person is personally accountable or unaccountable, and that's how you'll know if it's being used for good or evil. But when you are overwhelmed or distracted, you're not going to be able to think long term. Eliminate distractions is one of the 74 principles of real leadership, so that you are able to develop your vision. And that's, again, how you can combine the 74 principles. Good morning, Lola. The 74 principles of real leadership, so that you can create unlimited neural pathways for your life. Number 4 is limiting beliefs. And we're talking about develop your vision today, Lola. Limiting beliefs. Some may not believe that they have the power, talent, or resources to create or pursue a meaningful vision. Limiting beliefs. Some may not believe they have the power, talent, or resources to create or pursue a meaningful vision. Now, as we know, unaccountable people need 17 people for them to do anything. That's why you see people showing up with their crew and all of that, because they need all those people. But when you are holding yourself personally accountable and you know that everything you do is up here in this nice little CPU, you can do it yourself. You have the ability to learn and grow because of neuroplasticity, so you can do all things, the big and the small things. When you set your mind to it, you can actually do it. Okay? So the limiting beliefs will stop you, not to mention the stuck Malia and the stance of ensuring that your beliefs are limited. Why are you learning that? Why are you reading a book? Why are you studying that? You don't want to go to the concert? They have all these distractions. We getting ready to cook out. We getting ready to go on vacation. We getting ready to have a party. We getting ready to have a funeral. Getting ready to have a baby shower. We getting ready to go over there and watch such and such grass grow. And then after that, we're going to play some cards. We're going to go on vacation. We got the jet skis. We're getting ready to go skydiving. And all these other things are distractions from stopping you from developing a vision for your future. And it's all these things telling you who you are not. And then now you're over here trying to do this thing when you need to be over here trying to do this thing. And then number 5 is cultural or social conditionings. And that's what I'm leading into. Cultural or social conditionings. People are sometimes raised to follow predefined paths rather than encouraged to create their own. We come from a long line of enlisted people in the Army. That means don't go in the Navy, don't go in the Air Force, don't go in the Marines, don't go in the Coast Guard. And whatever you do, don't be an officer. We have predetermined it. Arthur Jethro Evelyn the second went in the Army, and everybody's going to follow suit. That's how it's going to be. Now, my father did go to the Air Force, but he was on the opposite side. So William Thomas was his father. And these cultural predefined, stuckly cubicalized, zip code itis systems that you were born into says, this is what you're going to do. This is what you are going to do, and don't you change any of this, because we are passing down these generational curses. I mean, legacy. And this is what you're getting ready to do. How dare you not do the thing that we gave birth to you so you could go do this thing. Don't go do this other thing. Absolutely not. And then number 6, lack of role models or guidance. Lack of role models or guidance. Without seeing others who have successfully developed and followed a personal vision, it's hard to imagine doing it oneself. Without seeing others who have successfully developed and followed a personal vision, it's hard to imagine doing it oneself. And now I will go back to my t-shirt. I am unaware, and there could be, so notice I'm saying this disclaimer. I am unaware of an African American woman whose theory has been put into practice and people are still using it today. It may exist, and I am just unaware of it. Now, I can do some more research now that I have access to Chat GPT as well as Grok, but I am unaware on a global level of it. So that is why I said this is an equation. Math is my background. It's an equation, and I have been refining and defining it and refining and defining it to the point where this is my E equals MC squared. And then yesterday when we were there telling the young man how to do it and why we wanted it and everything else, and I told him, you do a good job, I'm gonna shout you out, and we will be doing business together. So as far as I'm concerned, he did a good job. He's a great demeanor, young cat, doing his thing. So I'm here to support. I will support any young person that's out here doing something grandiose that's different than the norm. And so I don't have role models right now. I don't. And I'm not really happy about the boomers because that is the generation that's ahead of me and the silent generation that's still here. The other day, as I mentioned, Oprah and Gail, and I saw it on my reels. Whenever you upload a reels, for those of you who are on Instagram, a video automatically plays while your reel is uploading. And I have to stay in the app because sometimes it doesn't upload. And I saw Gail and Oprah sitting on someone's show talking about friendship. They're in their 70s. And they were saying, these are the type of friends that you need to have. And if somebody is jealous of you, blah, 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 blah. And then one day after that, I was uploading on Reels and I saw Maya Angelou, and because she aged well, I would venture to say that she was late for 40s, early 50s. And the way and the self-awareness that she had at that point, I'm going to say we were the same age, my current age, her age at the time. It was, I said, this is what we're missing. When Cicely Tyson and Diane Carroll and Lena Horne and the greats were there speaking, Maya Angelou, Nikki Giovanni, Angela Davis, they had been through so much that they're just to hear them and their life reflection was there. And now I'm saying it's not there. So I currently don't have anybody that I can say, yeah, when I get 70, God willing, when I get 80, God willing, because they on the couch talking about fucking friendship. That's what they're concerned with in their 70s. Friendship, people. That's what you're going to leave the world. So I currently don't have. So if you're saying, why are you always quoting all these other people or dead people or everything else? Because the people that are living ain't living. They're not taking risks. They're not challenging themselves. And so I'm looking to my future, and my future is on TikTok saying 60 is a new 40. Let me pop it and drop it. I ain't no grandma. Let me do all this. Let me put my makeup on. I'm like, okay. So a lack of role models and guidance is what's taking place. So I will review these 6 reasons why people don't develop a vision. Number 1, lack of self-awareness. Number 2, fear of failure. Number 3, overwhelm or distractions. Number 4, limiting beliefs. Number 5, cultural or social conditionings. And number 6, lack of role models or guidance. And so I would also like to add that there are people who are studying neuroscience that have been for a very long time. And I'm in this conversation with someone on Threads who doesn't understand. That person keeps thinking I'm theoretically speaking, and they don't understand that I'm actually having my theory put into practical application and it's being used every day. So I'm the person, because the scientists, the neuroscientists stay in neuroscience. The psychiatrists prescribe you prescriptions, and I am the conduit for which theory and practical application meet. Because everybody in those schools and academia have theories, but they're not using them. They give them to the government, they give them to universities, they give them to private industries and capitalistic insights organizations, and then they turn it into a product and they sell it. That's how it works. So never before has it been done. And if I am misspoken, please correct me if you have some new information that I actually don't have. Never before has an intellectual developed a theory and processes and systems, turned it into something that actually can be used without adulterating it or saying, well, I gotta need some adjustments, gotta put a little seasoning on it. And then that it is used in day-to-day society by the common man. I'm unaware of it. I am unaware of it. So I go back to number 6. I don't have any role models. Academics stay in academics, psychiatrists stay in their offices with their prescription pad, and then the government, education system, and corporations are dealing with the people on the day-to-day basis. Neuroscientists don't really like people. That's why they're in the lab. And psychiatrists just want to, okay, well, how do you feel about that? Okay, so everybody is studying what's wrong with the brain. No one's studying how to use the brain. And if they are, it's not turned into something that's a viable option that you can use until now. Hence, PA plus 45 degrees equals your best. So what questions do you have or comments about why people don't develop a vision? If you like to add anything based upon the information that I've given, go ahead. If nothing else resonates with you, you can say no questions or however you'd like to present that information. And we will close out today with the steps to develop your vision. Nina Simone, too. Was one of those other people that I was talking about that I neglected to mention. And I have to use entertainers because we don't have people. And you'll say, well, why didn't you mention Kamala? Politicians. She's a politician. And there should be more than just her. If you think about how many African American women are in the U.S. over the age of 60, let me find out how many that is. Damn, I don't have chat on here. Hopefully Google can tell me. This is 2020. No, I don't want that. Limited beliefs is one I didn't see coming. Okay, see, it's not answering my question. All right, I'm gonna have to find it out after the fact. This is why I like chat, because Google can't give me the answer that I want. Okay. Nola, your message was retracted. Yeah, you removed it. Okay. I want to say my thoughts with the learn portion. Okay, got it. All right, so we're gonna move on to, and I will get that statistic. Let me write it down because I'm gonna forget what I'm asking. Okay. Never thought a day would come where Google would seem incompetent. It's not incompetent, like I just mentioned when I said with the digital, with the overwhelm, distraction, it's just dated information. So everything was from the last US Census. And chat is going to be able to tell me the exact, and if they don't get it, they're going to ask me a follow-up question so that they can narrow it down to what I am doing. Don't worry, they're gonna figure it out because they're not about to let chat and Grok take them over. But that's what I meant by I want a specific answer and I can't get that specific answer. And so now I'm trying to redo my question when my question was a viable question. It's just that the AI that Google is using is not as advanced as chat. but I will find it out. It's nothing for you all. It's me. I want to know where my role models at. Who else was supposed to have been role modeling? Who else? And they don't have to be studying real leadership, but I should be able to look to my future. Is sometimes when you have a vision board, remember we talked about that, you need something to see. Because some people are visual. And what the hell am I visual? I don't want to be sitting on the couch 70-something years old talking about friendship. Yeah. Come on now. That's 20 years from now. 18. Okay, so steps to develop your vision. Number 1, clarify your values. Clarify your values. And here's how you're going to do that. You're going to ask yourself, what truly matters? What truly matters to me? To me, not to the world right now, just what matters. If I'm developing a vision for my life, I need to know what truly matters to me. What kind of person do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be? And then finally, what principles guide my best decisions? What principles? And we know I got 74 of them that guide my best decision making. So what matters to me at this point in my life is people being personally accountable, because there are so many obstacles that occur within a given week in my life due to the fact that people are unaccountable, due to the fact the system is down, a part is broken, I can't get the information I need from Google. So there is a bottleneck, a slowdown, or complete obstacle in my way within any given week because there are 6.8 billion unaccountable adults. So what matters to me is more people being personally accountable in order for me to be able to navigate through my day. What kind of person do I want to be? I want to be a person that leads by example, because the 74 principles of real leadership, one of them is to lead by example. Okay. And then what principles guide my best decisions? The 74 principles of real leadership guide my best decisions. All right. Number 2, in steps to develop your vision. Envision your ideal future. Envision your ideal future. So imagine your life 5 to 10 years from now. Imagine your life 5 from 10 years from now. For me, that would be 57 and 62. What does that look like? And then what does a great day look like? What does a great day look like? Where are you living? What are you doing? Who are you surrounded by? Very important. And how do you feel at the end of the day? So envision your ideal future, 5 to 10 years out. What does a great day look like? Where are you living? What are you doing? Who are you surrounded by? And how do you feel at the end of the day? And it can be as unrealistic, galaxy-spheric as you absolutely want it to be. I mean, hunormic, just pie in the sky, grandiose. Like on a good day, that shit can't happen. Right, let me write that down. That's what it needs to be. Number 3, define what success looks like. Define what success looks like. What would make you proud? What would make you proud? And then next, what accomplishments or qualities would show you're living your vision? So what does that look like? What do you need to see that will say, yep, here's my vision. There it is. That's what I envisioned in my life. And now here it is. And then finally, what impact would you like to have on others or to the world? And I will use myself in this instance. I would like for 6.8 billion adults to be personally accountable so that I don't have imbeciles coming to my live and doing dumb, unaccountable shit. I'd like to go to the grocery store and everything is where it needs to be. I would like for people driving on the road to be following the fucking rules of the road. I would like for people to be who they say they are. I would like to open up a box at an appointment with my child and there are no damaged products. And FedEx, which we call BrokeX, didn't break it. And styrofoam is snowing through the air as we open the box and pick items up. I'd like to not have to roll every piece of furniture that needs to be assembled with a lint roller because styrofoam is everywhere. There are a lot of things. I'd like to be able to enjoy peace and quiet because people are not doing dumb shit and the cops don't have to come and get you. That's what I would like. And everybody being personally accountable, because then they would be doing their best. So we would have cures for all of these long-term illnesses that people have. We would actually be able to breathe clean air and everything else. People would be who they say that they actually are. Number 4, write down a vision statement. You want to write it down. So once you've done 1 through 3, now you're going to craft a short, empowering paragraph or statement that captures your answers. Write a vision statement down. Craft a short, empowering paragraph or statement that captures your answer. Here's an example. I am living a life of purpose and creativity, surrounded by people I love and making a meaningful impact through my work. I wake up energized, knowing I am contributing something bigger than myself. I will read that again. I am living a life of purpose and creativity, surrounded by people I love and making a meaningful impact through my work. I wake up energized, knowing I am contributing something bigger than myself. If you have any interactions with unaccountable people, they can't think past themselves. It's impossible. It is 100% impossible for them to think past them, because there's a great book, Greater Than Yourself. They don't have it to give. They don't have the mental capacity, the neural pathways to think past themselves. They have a fixed mindset. They can think of an event, they can think about standing next to somebody to make themselves look good, but to think of something greater than themselves, absolutely not. Impossible to do. And then number 5 is revisit and refine. So your vision should evolve as you grow. Revisit it every few months. I say once a quarter. Check alignment and adjust as needed. Revisit and refine. Your vision should evolve as you grow. Revisit it every few months, once a quarter, and check alignment and adjust as needed. So I will summarize them again. Steps to develop your vision. Clarify, number 1, clarify your values. Number 2, envision your ideal future. Number 3, define what success looks like. Number 4, write a vision statement. And number 5, revisit and refine. So what questions do you have, or comments, anything that popped up for you with regards to the 5 steps to develop your vision? You like them? Got it. Our trained Joseph, good morning. I like them all, and they all make sense. That's wonderful. Glad it makes sense. One thing that we are not taught in school is to have a vision for our life. What you want to be when you grow up. Not why. Notice that I'm using them. Not why. Not take a vision statement. You do not leave high school with a vision statement for your life. You don't. You have your diploma, but you do not have a vision for it. And that's the catapult for your adult life. We have a lot of people graduating. We saw a lot of graduating seniors yesterday walking around, their cap and gowns on, some taking pictures, and there's graduations today and all through next week. And what they don't have is a vision for their life. They got submissions that their parents have told them, this is what you about to do. You need to make me rich, so go do grand things. I'm tired of working. I hate my job. But they don't actually, no one sat down with them and said, this is the vision. If they know what their major is, because their parents told them what their major is. And to the point, how you going to know at 17, 18, 19 years old what you want to do with the rest of your life? That is insane. You can say, here's what I'm going to do for the next 5 to 10 years. From there, I'm going to reevaluate, and I'm going to switch potentially, or I like it, and I'm like the gentleman who's been selling appliances for 60, 70 years, probably about 60 something years. That makes sense. But you need your 20s. You don't even have your frontal lobe until you're 25. How are you going to make the decision at 18 what you're going to be doing at 45? See how neurologically that doesn't make sense? But what does make sense is to program you to say, this is the thing that you have to be. Now go in this industry so that we can have you in this industry and use you up until we can't use you no more. And then we'll say, okay, get your old ass out. And now you're too old to do anything else. That system works for unaccountable people. So you get in here, you stay stuck, you go to this job, only learn what we're telling you to learn, and then go off and have fun. So you don't have time to go and develop a personal vision. You don't have time to evaluate, do I want to be putting potato chips on the truck for the next 30 years? Hell no. That isn't available for you. So if you know any graduating seniors, be it from college or high school or JUCO, and you can have access to mentoring them just for a moment, say, hey, you know what? Why don't we just say, they say, hey, give me some money. What you want? I'm going to help you write a vision statement. This is going to be more value added than any amount of money that I could ever give you. And I say that to say when I had NOLA, there was an older warehouse manager who transferred after I left the warehouse. Her name was Annabelle, I think. And she gave me a box, a humongous box of diapers. And she said, I know. And she just handed it to me. She said, I know I didn't wrap it. It don't have a bow. But she said, you going to get up in the middle of the night and change your daughter's diaper. And you're going to reach for this box. And you're going to thank me. And I was like, everybody giving outfits and other things that we needed. And she was absolutely correct. Because that is what I needed more than anything else. I'm like, no. It made more sense. So you're going to help them by giving them a vision statement for their life, supporting them. And you're going to tell them this is going to evolve. As your life changes, keep this with you. Thank you to social media. Technology. You can put it in the cloud, save it in the email, and tell them once a quarter, just look back at that and evaluate it as you each semester when you finish school, or quarter systems if you're going online. And every time you're evaluating it so you can come back to that. Because this, while it's pure and unadulterated, before you got the rest of the unaccountable people in the world telling you can't do that shit, go back to that. That's something that's more value added than even people say give them a Roth IRA or an investment or whatever. It don't matter if you don't know who you are, how you going to make it proper investments. In what? If you don't use it and you don't love it, don't invest in it. That's my advice to anybody seeking what to do, what stock is popping. Nope. You're not going to use it and you don't love it, don't invest in it. So I digress. The point is that everyone needs a vision statement for your life. It's not taught to you, even if you're in a corporate job or something. If you work for a nonprofit, that's the nonprofit's vision, but that's not your vision. And you are the one who has to get up every day and live your life. And you need a blueprint for your life. Okay, now, as we close out, what did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? And know this is when you said that you were going to save yours for the end. So whatever you were going to say earlier, now is the time to say that. What did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? And remember to do your brain. There we go. Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Your brain, your thinking, your ellipse, something to let me know that you, and again, this is also, I know you're thinking, but that we know we've had times when I've had to get off the live and start over because YouTube has stopped letting me see your comments. They'll let me curse, but they won't let. Yes, so my shirt means, and what you can do, Art Training, if I'm pronouncing your name improperly, please spell it for me phonetically. I do not want to be disrespectful and mispronounce your name. So what this is PA plus 45 degrees equals your best. I have a doctorate in organizational leadership, and this is the theory of personal accountability. And it means 40 personal accountability plus 45 degrees equals your best. And what happens is when I was in basic training many years ago, the drill sergeants would put us at half right face, which is 45 degrees, either to make us do push-ups or to look at our drill and ceremony to get it more refined. And when you are at a 45-degree angle, you see things differently. I teach personal accountability, and as a result of that, when you hold yourself personally accountable at the 45-degree angle, you get to be at your best. There are 6.8 billion unaccountable adults in the world, and my mission in life is to decrease that number. So I developed the theory of personal accountability as well as the 74 principles of real leadership in my book, Real Leaders Wear Pink, as well as Neuropability. And the reason why there's a brain background, normally I have on a brain t-shirt, is because your inability to become your best is in your brain. We are hardwired for negativity bias, a bunch of other biases and isms. And so as a result, those neural pathways need to be pruned. You need to develop neuroplasticity, which is the creation of new neural pathways so that you can become your best. So when you use this theory and the 74 principles of real leadership, you get to your best, regardless of what anybody else around you is doing. Please let me know if I've answered your question. All right. Kevin said, learned, school, work, retire, die. That hit hard when you said it. That's coming from the 100 Years Life book. They said that that's what's wrong with everybody. Is that, yeah, that's what people are doing. Noah said, I learned that people not knowing who they are could be a reason they wouldn't have a vision, would have never thought of that. Hit hard. And then Noah said, learned about myself that my pleasure, Artrine. Nola said, learned about myself that I have become more of a visionary within the last month. Be a visionary and thinking forward is something I've done a lot. I concur. And while Kevin is bringing up his last thing, I forgot about the poll question. I've ended the poll question. Okay. The results are in. You are the father. No. Okay, no. The results are in. Do you have a vision for your life? 54% of people said no, and 45% of the people said yes. And as I mentioned, giving someone that's graduating from high school, college, entering their adult life a vision helps them stay on track. So as life starts happening, things in life start taking place, when you can go back to that vision, you can go back to that why and make adjustments to that, it allows you to be able to navigate. You're going to get to your best over here. Kevin, myself, I'm closer to my vision today than I was yesterday. I agree. Now, I'm probably going to do the ugly cry today. So if you don't want to see snot and tears, this would be a great time for you to exit stage left. I have my tissue ready because I have been holding back my tears all day. I am wearing this shirt and I cannot believe it. And yesterday we went to the swap meet, went to Michael's and got it because it's nice thin cotton. Found a young man and his name is Joshua Reyes. Great little shop in the swap meet. I love going to support emerging and new small businesses. That's my whole thing. And it's here. It's here. And I was scared to put the shirt on this morning because as soon as I got ready to put it on, I heard my sister's voice say, that ain't shit. That ain't shit. I'm 52 years old and this bitch's voice is still in my head, fucking with me. That ain't shit. I almost hugged the guy yesterday. I said, this has been in my head. And I'm so grateful. I'm going to shout you out on all my social media platforms. He didn't make me feel bad. He didn't say, what the fuck is this? Nothing. Is this what you want? Come around. Let me make sure. And it's here. It's here. It's here. I can't even explain. I'm speechless, and y'all know I'm not one for not having words. But to have somebody tell you you ain't shit, your shit ain't shit, and no matter what, you keep going. I don't care that there's only 6 people on this live this morning because I got it on and it's here. I pushed through all of that unbelief. People tell me, dated the dude, motherfucker said you too damn smart. How the fuck you gonna tell somebody that? And the first thing that I said with the gentleman that was there with him, I said, I'm smart. I came out as a nerd last fall. Like, how the fuck would you make somebody hide being smart, being a visionary, being a nerd? Like, how? Why would you do that to your younger sister? What the fuck is wrong with her? You understand? An unsupportive mother, a pervy ass stepfather. All I wanted to do was help people and couldn't. And y'all don't know, hundreds of people stopping, blocking, and everything else. And I didn't stop. That's what this is about. I didn't fucking stop. I didn't. I couldn't. I mean, obstacles. Oh, this shirt means more. It's a $14 shirt with some doggone screen print letters on here. But it means it's the most valuable piece of clothes that I own right now. It is the most, because it is mine. It is mine 1000 fucking percent. I did this with my faith and years, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of days of dealing with other people's shit. And it's here. And I wish I motherfucker would not. I told him I'm getting this put on everything. Long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, button ups, everything. Because this is E equals MC squared. For me to be able to do that with I don't have anybody to look to. There is nobody that I can wake up to in the morning and say, yep, I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. From who? From who? I can't see nobody. Do you know how tough that is when you got a vision and you see it, but you can't even see it nowhere else. You can't see it nowhere else. And I still did it. And I mean, I was nervous this morning. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's a lie. And I put the shirt on. I said, it's the shirt. It's the shirt. And here this motherfucker go. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. And it is. And I said, and I hear you, Archery. And I said, I don't want no merch out here. So I hear what you're saying. And I just need a moment in my shirt. I just need a moment in it. Because I can't. It's not coming out. It's not coming out what this means to me. And I told him yesterday, I said, all heroes don't wear capes. And he didn't understand what I meant. He didn't understand what I'm like. This been in my head. And now it's out. And now it's here. And it means so. This is oxygen. This is water. This is how we change the adult population. And everybody, friends, family, they have done their best to stop this t-shirt and this idea from becoming something that is in the world that actually will change the world. I know I'm stressed. I'm having a hot flash right now. And I promise you, I thank my daughter for believing in me, literally, and saying, we got to go get this shirt today. She said it. We were halfway off yesterday, and she said, we got to go do this today. We got to go do it today. And it's amazing that the timing of develop your vision, I couldn't have planned this. And me saying, here is my vision right here in front of you. I'm so grateful that first of all, because I could have died almost 7 different times, that I'm still vertical. And my faith is how we still here today. It is, oh God, I can't even, it's not coming out right. And hopefully I can sleep on it and it can come out better tomorrow. But it's not even coming out what I want to say. God, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna go. Whew. Keep going. Whatever you got going, just keep going. Don't let any person stop you. Don't. If you hear it and it's inside of you, keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop believing. Don't stop. Just keep going. Keep going. Just keep going. You gotta do it for yourself, because you ain't an award, ain't a degree, and I had plenty. This right here is for me. It's for y'all too, but this doing this, pushing past all of this, everything else. I mean, so much stuff is happening in my head. So many people it's just, if this was a movie, there would just be people, all a flashback of how many times, how many people, how, yeah, I can't. I've never. I tell you, I couldn't use my feelings dashboard right now, because I have never in my life had this moment in my life. Never ever, never ever. Trying to get myself together to close this out. So thank you for that moment. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, same time, same place, safe space, a brain T-shirt, and the theory of personal accountability with me, inside of me, and every fiber of my being. God, higher power in the universe. So thank you for your time this morning. Go ahead, if you don't have your own vision statement, go ahead and make one today. And God willing, higher power in the universe. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.